Hello my fellow Archons, and welcome to another video. Today we'll be analyzing the numerous tokens of change spoilers that were dropped in a semi-recent Gamefound article. This is a set I truly cannot wait for. I'm super excited to see the tokens all the houses that weren't in Winds of Exchange will be getting, and of course there's a brand new house in the mix as well, House Redemption. Without further ado, let's dive into these spoilers. Let's begin with the actual token creatures that were revealed in this article. First off, we have a Geistoid token, which is just crazy to say out loud, Wrecker. It's 2 power and reads after Reap, discard the top card of a player's deck. This is very in line with Geistoid's general identity, getting players haunted and discarding cards off the top of one's deck. It's quite a simple effect, but will come in clutch when you need to be haunted for another card's ability. In Logos we have Savant, another 2 power token reading Action. You may choose a card in your archives and put it into its owner's hand, otherwise archive a card. Just imagine a battle line of like 4 of these left undealt with. You could call Logos and literally archive 4 cards per turn, which is just wild. And beyond even that, being able to pick and choose which cards from your archives you want to pick up is an awesome ability, something along the lines of the Archivist or Professor Garwin, preventing clogging up your hand by picking up a messy archive. I'm a huge fan of this one, and I believe it'll be pretty powerful in the right decks. In this we have Snare. It's 1 power and reads Destroyed. If it is your turn, your opponent loses 1 Ember. This means your opponent can safely destroy them without consequence on their turn, but once it comes back around to you, you can destroy them to make your opponent lose Ember. Again, a very dis effect. With 6 of these on the board, you could drop a board wipe and make your opponent lose a whole key's worth of Ember. Cards like Implosion or Ritual of Tognath, if either of those are reprinted, would synergize great with Snare as well. And they can reap too, so you can still get value out of them outside of destroying them. Next up in Shadows is Prowler. Like Snare, it's 1 power and reads after Reap. If your opponent has more Ember than you, steal 1. This is honestly a pretty balanced effect. You most likely won't be getting too many steals off with it, but when you do, it's decent burst and Ember control rolled into 1. It reminds me of things like Neurosiphon or Finch Cloak, requiring your opponent to be ahead to get max value out of. At 1 power, it's very easily killed, but I'm still a fan. This next one I'm not so big a fan of, Aerialist in the new House Skyborn. It's 1 power and reads, while your yellow key is forged, Aerialist gains after Reap capture 1 Ember. This just feels like a distinctly worse cleric to me. They tried incorporating the whole key color mechanic into it, which is on brand for Skyborn, but this 1 power creature has to wait for your yellow key to be forged to get its capture value, whereas Cleric would capture 1 instantly just by entering play. I think Aerialist is just too small. Maybe if it was 2 or even 3 power it would be more viable. It makes me wonder if the other 2 common Skyborn tokens will incorporate the blue and red key colors into their effect. If so, hopefully they're better than this one. The article also revealed one of the rare linked token creatures, the one belonging to House Untamed. The token creature is Niffle Brute. They're bringing back the Niffle line in this set supposedly, so I would assume that includes Niffle Ape, Niffle Queen, and the like. Niffle Brute is 4 power and reads Destroyed. Return a Niffle card from your discard pile to your hand. Already, Niffle Brute is a better warrior, warrior being 4 power and rarely able to reap, and Brute being 4 power and being able to do whatever it wants, in addition to having Destroyed effect. It comes with a rare artifact, Niffle Sanctuary. Interestingly, it has the Niffle trait, meaning Niffle Brute can return to your hand if it gets destroyed, and reads Action, make a Niffle Brute. Until the end of the turn, each Niffle Brute gains after fight gain 1 Ember. So there is some potential for fight-based burst here, although the Brutes do have to survive the fight in order to gain an Ember from that fight effect. I do wonder how this token will play in practice. At first glance it looks a little underwhelming to me, but we'll have to see how it plays and what other support it has. Next up, we can move on to the regular cards that were spoiled for tokens of change, such as basic creatures and actions. In Geistoid, we have a common 3 power creature called Administrator Rivet, who reads play, make a token creature. If you are haunted, each friendly token creature captures 1 Ember. I really like this guy. The potential for mass capture is real. If you're haunted and have lots of tokens generated, Rivet could capture quite a bit at once, and at common you may see multiple of them. And if you're not haunted yet, maybe Wrecker could get you there, then you capture onto them with Rivet. In Dis we have Gate Warden. Common, 3 power, reading, while you control a token creature, your opponent's creatures cannot reap. Play, make a token creature. Very disruptive, a classic Dis tactic, but feels less threatening to me than something like Barrister Joya. In multiples, your opponent now has multiple sources of reap hate to deal with, so hopefully there will be a taunt in the set to protect the Gate Wardens with. In Logos, we have an uncommon action with an Ember Pip called Cognitive Assumptions. It reads play, reveal up to 3 Logos cards from your hand. For each card revealed in this way, make a token creature. So you can make up to 3 token creatures at once this way, using a method we've really only ever seen one other time in Space Invaders from Mars, and even that operates slightly differently. It's quite a neat effect, essentially giving you 3 creatures from a single card. Your opponent is given a heads up on what's to come over the rest of your turn, but I'd say that's definitely worth it. Skyborn is next, with the upgrade Hunter of Legend. It's uncommon, comes with a pip, and reads, this creature gains Skirmish, and after fight make a token creature. This is yet another source of token generation. Place this on a bigger creature, and not only will you have a consistent source of high-powered fight damage, but you'll also make a token creature every time you fight with it. It's pretty boring and vanilla, but does have its uses. Over in Untamed, we have a common 3-power creature called Whimsical Conjurer. It enhances 2 Ember Pips and reads, when you resolve a bonus Ember Pip, you may make a token creature instead. Now, I really don't know how worth it it'll be to give up a precious raw Ember Pip for a single token creature. You must really need a token creature in that instant to be willing to sacrifice an Ember Pip for one. Perhaps if your deck is super pip heavy, you may not have to worry about it too much, but I don't see myself using this effect very often. Our last 2 cards come from the all-new House Redemption. The first one is a 4-power, 2-armor common creature with taunt called Intrepid Exemplar. He has an after-fight destroyed effect that has you make a token creature. That's not too bad, perhaps a little vanilla, kinda reminds me of Ironix Vatminder from WoW in some ways. The taunt could help protect other important creatures like the Gatewarden from before, which is solid. And our final card is an artifact, one of the new outposts, Vindication Outpost. In WoW, every house had its own uncommon outpost artifact, and this one belongs to House Redemption. It reads, action, put a friendly creature on the bottom of its owner's deck. If you do, make a token creature, ready it, and fight with it. Redemption seems to be doing a lot of fighting so far. Being able to get an instant fight out of a token, even off house potentially, seems decently strong, especially if the token is large or has a good fight ability, or maybe a destroyed effect like Snare. I'm excited to see what the other new outposts have in store. Honestly, I'm just looking forward to seeing even more spoilers in the future. And there we have it, each of the spoiled Tokens of Change cards revealed in the Gamefound article. It's incredibly exciting seeing the token creature mechanic revisited like this. I can't wait to get my hands on it. What do you guys think of these cards? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you all again in the next one. See you later.